Welcome, everyone, and I want to welcome you today for our Coach Spotlight this month, which is done on Augusto, and we are going to know a little bit more about him and his viewpoints on coaching. Um, just a little bit of a background on Augusto. Augusto is focused on the human-centered impact with a background as a independent researcher. He's MIT trained in innovation and design thinking. He's focused on supporting others, well-being, and growth. Augusto demonstrates presence, listening, and support to others. And he also supports the coaching community and his clients, and has been recognized by his peers as impactful, inspiring, and helpful on multiple occasions. Augusto, welcome with us today. And I'm just going to ask you a few questions, but I'm going to give you a brief time just to say hello to everyone, and then we'll dive into the questions.
Yeah, hi Adele. Well, thank you so much for inviting me here today. I'm so happy to be here and to be able to share a little bit about myself and about what how I got into coaching. So I'm ready to start.
Hey, and on that note, I'm going to jump out the gates, and I want to ask you, what keeps you engaged in coaching?
So, well, I think as you mentioned, I come from a background in technology, a career in technology, and at a certain point in my career, I realized that the direction uh, that technology was taking humanity to was not exactly ideal. So I felt I needed to do something about it. And then is when coaching came into my life. So I was aware of what leadership coaching was. So I experienced leadership coaching, being coached as a tech leader. But then, when I never thought about, I could be a coach. I never thought that, that would be part of my life, just because I was not aware of what it exactly was. So as I was thinking about this project of, how to help people with, especially, with my project that I was developing that is called Digital Zero, helping family dealing with technology addiction, so children technology addiction, so helping family to deal with that. So I was using my design thinking to try to understand, how to address that. What is the best methodology to do that? And as I was doing my exercise, so design thinking is basically is a problem solving methodology where you focus on empathy, you focus on people feelings to find a solution. Normally it's used for products, to build the best product, but starting from the human, is human centric. So as I was doing that, coaching keep coming up. It keep coming up. And I was like, that's interesting because, I want to help people, but I don't want to push them off. For example, if you go to somebody and say, well, the best option for you is psychology, not everybody's is ready for that. It,
Yes.
it carries like some kind of a weight, therapy as well. So and especially when you want to help people that are not necessarily the wealthiest people in the world, maybe they don't feel like they have the financial to do a long uh, treatment or going into psychology that is really like time demanding. So coaching felt like, whoa, this is very interesting. It's first of all, it is something that is accessible to people, doesn't require um, any specific engagement except being there, and what I really love about it is the part that you are not there giving advice. You're not there to tell people how to live their lives. You help them how to find their own answers, and especially in my case, so in the case of the digital addiction, you help them by being present. So you're there for them 100%, and you leave all your background out. You're just there and listen, and help them. So that is what engaged me. So to make a long story short, I find my in coaching, I find my answer to a problem that I want to help with. So this was the best answer I found, was exactly coaching.
That's very interesting. And I like the way you shared the impact, the listening that you so show throughout everything that we engage with, that we've seen of you. So for me, it's a good value to have in a sense. And I like the way that you want to make a difference with this technology and this addiction. My following up question on that is, what kind of impact do you most enjoy making with your clients or within the coaching community?
So what was really interesting as I was doing my training, and at Coaching Minds, I realized something else. So before, coaching was not really part of my life, and then I got into this training, and I'm learning to listen to people. I'm learning to stay there and not giving opinion, which in the world where we're living is not really common. So it seems like everybody's telling you what you should do, where you should go, what you should be, and you feel like you have to do the same. So I'm there learning this, and I came in with my focus on digital addiction, but then I had to do my session with people that didn't have the digital addiction. So I had different type of we can call them issues, or life story, or whatever you want to call them. Then as I'm there listening to this process of listening to them, and helping them, and I realized that I really enjoyed. I realized that uh, no matter what is the actual, who is the clients, what type of issues bringing, what type of challenges facing, I realized that the methodology, the fact that being there and listening to people, and help them to move to the next step is really rewarding for me. So and I really enjoy that. It's really fulfilling. And, it is, as I said before, it's a world that is really screaming, is pushing us all the time. Is Coaching is really gentle. Coaching is really kind. And and to be there for somebody, be present, is really rewarding for me. It's something that fits what I am today. Maybe 20 years ago I would have taken it a different way, but what I'm today is it is this.
And it comes again, that support you have for others. And what the course has also taught you is to be there, to listen to others, and to go outside of the area that you initially thought about. And with that, I want to ask you, is there a principle, a value, or an approach that really guides how you show up as a coach?
So I believe that you can't see the missing pieces in general if you're not fully focused and fully present. So my principle, you have to be there. So when you enter into a session, you leave everything else. You leave all your opinion, you leave your background, you leave everything that is you or you identify with, and you're there for the other person. So that session is not your session. It's the session of somebody else. You're there to help. You're there to listen to them. You're there to guide them to the next step or to a difficult challenge. So to me, presence is 100% the core value that you need to they need to perceive, that you are there to address their challenge. You're not there to look cool or to make them feel that you know more they know, and that is to me is how I show up, or at least how I try to show up as a coach. Just to be fully present, fully accessible, focus 100% on the client, not on me. Me stays outside of the room.
Um, I like how you bring presence in because that for me is a core principle that you have to have, and that support that you show for your clients, and that you are having that client-led session. Um, I would like to ask you, what would you say to someone who is earlier in their coaching journey or considering becoming a coach?
So my biggest advice would be don't worry about where you're coming from. So we all have different experiences, but that's what makes us unique. And you can bring uh, a lot of your experience in anything you do. And coaching allows you to be yourself, allows you to be there for others. So if your intention is to approach coaching, you don't need to be worried about, what you were doing before. Maybe you were a cook, or maybe you were, working in tech, or maybe you were working in retail. Anything that you can think of should not stop you. It's not necessary to worry about it. So that is my biggest advice, is that, we we live in a world where, we every day we need to tell the world who we are, what we're doing, what we're eating, you know, all of this information that, we feel obliged to communicate and to share with others. In coaching, is not like that. In coaching, you can just be you, no matter what you are or what you've been. And my don't let a background, somebody else's opinion, your own voice stop you. Just go for it, because there is space for you, and nobody will judge you.
And that's wonderful words of wisdom that you've just shared there. Augusto, I really want to thank you, and really, the spotlight for this month is on you, what you've done in coaching, what you're bringing to coaching. And really, again, I want to thank you for all the support that you've shown, the impact you have, and the way that you are just totally inspiring. So I want to thank you for coming today and giving us a short little glimpse into who Augusto is.
Well, Adele, thank you so much. And I want to thank you and Coaching Minds and Paul, because it is a really special place that I never thought I will encounter in my journey. And it is a real pleasure to be part of this community, really.
And we are really, it's for us, we are humbled and really enjoying your presence and what you bring to the community. So from our side, thank you as well.